During the 1850s, long time ago, the Chinese converged on Beechworth to seek their fortune. Yes, that is gold. Mining camps sprung up as gold was discovered in many of the several creeks around the area. Welcome to another episode of TREV'S Bushland Adventures. And we're here at the Beechworth Cemetery, but not only the cemetery here at Beechworth, but we're going to visit the Chinese graves, the Chinese burning towers and the graves. Let's check it out. At the height of Oven's goldfields rush, the Chinese population in Beechworth had grown to 7,000 out of total population of 30,000 to 40,000. Many of the Chinese were employed by sluicing companies, while others worked their own small claims. The town had a permanent Chinese camp, temple, shops and a burial ground, with the distinctive burning towers which can still be seen today at the Beechworth Cemetery, where some 2,000 Chinese were buried, their friends for burning paper money in memory of the dead. The shrine in front of the burning towers was not built until 1883-84. Colonial prejudice meant that the Chinese were not allowed to live in Beechworth and had large camps on the outskirts of town. There were many additional controls enforced, regulations and license checks against the Chinese miners, with anti-Chinese sentiment widespread during the 1850s gold rush. Of particular historical significance is the Chinese section of the Beechworth Cemetery. Here, some 2,000 Chinese gold seekers and settlers are buried. The Chinese burning towers were used for burning paper prayers, and meals were provided at the altar for the spirits of the dead. A memorial in recognition and remembrance of the Chinese contribution to society in Australia was erected in the Chinese section in 2010. The old remnant of fencing behind the Pioneer Cemetery is the old post and rail wooden structure that once fenced the northern end of the cemetery. The upright and cross pieces of native eucalyptus apple box and red box were probably assessed on site at the time of the construction over 100 years ago. This section of the original fence was restored in 2018 as part of the facility's rich history. John Miller from Cork Island, he was transported in 1839 and he migrated in the Buckland Valley in 1842. So he died right here in 1868 here in Beechworth, a long time ago. And this is one of the graves. He was buried right here. This is the group tombstone, the headstone that John Miller was buried. So as you can see, people from all different races of life migrated here in Beechworth. A visit to the Burke Museum will reward those interested in the Chinese heritage and history of the gold rush and wander through the Chinese gardens right here, built to commemorate the contribution of the Chinese and the township of Beechworth, are a great place to reflect and relax. Well, this is a reminder of the past here at the Beechworth Cemetery. There's so much here to explore. Of course, we've got the Chinese graves, and there's lots of graves, Chinese graves behind me. A lot of graves all dating back to 1850s, around about during the 18. And there were doctors, counsellors, children, you name it. And also there is a grave, actually it's behind me in the field, the very first patient at the asylum, which was dating back to the 1800s, and it's full of ghosts. It's a ghostly area, so, and of course they conduct ghost tours here, and so make sure you check that out. So the first asylum patient that died there at the asylum, at the Beechworth Asylum, and that was buried just behind me. There's probably many others like that, people during the asylum that died here at Beechworth. A lot of pioneers, and it's a ghostly area. So I'm going to finish this vlog, this video, this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure when you come to Beechworth, check out the Beechworth Cemetery, the Chinese burning towers and the graves. So my next adventure, we're going back to Violet Town. Remember Violet Town, the old Southern Aurora train crash site. I filmed that some time back on this channel. Check that out. So we're going to do a different area in Violet Town. We're going to do the river walk along the river. So we never know what's going to be there. Just go in there and explore. See you next time. See you then at Violet Town. Hope you enjoyed.